Thank you very much.
Well, Melody Fairchild isn't a triple jumper, but Melody Fairchild is the premier girls long-distance runner in high school today. Adrian Carson tried to catch up with her in the Rockies.
Running is something special to me, and I want to try to keep it that way.
She's only run one race in which she didn't finish first. In that race, she finished second. No wonder running is something special to Melody Fairchild. At just over 5 feet tall and 92 pounds, this 17-year-old senior is the defending Kinney National Cross-Country Champion. For a runner to set a record at sea level is one thing, but to shatter the state cross-country mark by 34 seconds in the thin air of the Colorado Rockies? Well, her coaches and competition say she's one of a kind. Melody humbly says there's a lot like her.
I know that everybody who runs puts in a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and there's a lot of intensity, and I know that that's all that's all pretty much the same for everybody. But I like to think that I am unique from other people, and I would hope everyone would think they're unique.
When do you know it's time to make your move in a race?
It depends with each race, and whatever my strategy is, and I have to rely a lot on my guts too, and listen to what my guts are telling me. Running is something special to me, and I want to try to keep it that way.
Now, Melody usually runs cross-country, but she'll be gunning for the national record today in the 2 miles. Susie Tuffy ran it in 10:05:15 back in '85. Here's a look at the field, but it really boils down to just what Melody Fairchild can do. It's kind of her against the clock, don't you agree, Tom?
Absolutely, Dan. She is the class of the field. She must run about 75 seconds per 400-meter split in order to run 10 minutes for 2 miles. Now, she is bidding to become the first to ever break 10 minutes indoors or out. We know what kind of fitness and what kind of shape she has with her runaway victory at the Kinney Cross Country. Now, she is preparing for the World Junior Cross Country Championships. And Dan, the World Cross Country Championships are really, in any division, senior men, senior women, junior women, the toughest international championship to win, because it is a common meeting ground. Instead of having different races at 800, 1500, 5,000, 10,000 like you do on the track, the World Cross Country is one race at one distance. Last year, Melody was 12th. She felt like what she needed to do to get into medal contention for the World Junior Cross Country Championships was to get some speed work. Hence, she is here in Syracuse today. Number 1076, currently in 4th. That's Melody. The 3 girls ahead of her you will not see after about 2 more laps of this race. It really should be Melody against the clock.
That's really a bold statement, but true nonetheless. I mean, she has dominated the United States running scene, not only on the high school level, but really almost any event that she's entered, no matter what level it's at.
There's been speculation, in fact, that Melody Fairchild will be able to hold her own on the collegiate level. Now, she may be able to hold her own, but not quite what USA Today mentioned in one article, which said that Melody could probably win the NC2A cross-country championship. I don't think that would be the case. Nevertheless, Melody is definitely in a class by herself, and she may eventually become the greatest long-distance runner ever in high school history. But really means success at the college level, just like in any other event. For instance, here are some of the big names that were high school cross-country or distance running sensations. Erin Keogh, who dominated like Melody did a couple of years ago. Julie Shea, Mary Shea, Patty Sue Plummer's sister, Polly Plummer, was considered a much greater prospect than Patty Sue. And yet, where have all these girls gone?
All right, leading the race right now is number 302. That's Kathy Knabb from Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. But here comes Melody Fairchild. And just like that, see ya, Kathy. Melody Fairchild has taken the lead, and I don't expect that she is going to lose that lead.
No, right now what we have to do is maintain what the splits are, and I think that's what Melody's trying to do. She'll be coming up to the 800-meter point right now, and we'll get a situation to determine whether record pace is on. She passes 800 meters in roughly 2:27, so the chase is on. You've got to remember that to become the first high schooler ever to break 10 minutes for 2 miles, she has to keep everything at 75 seconds or under per lap. Now, she ran 2:27 for 800 meters. 2:30 would have been the target point, so she's 3 seconds under already. second point. Notice, when you see Melody Fairchild, what strikes you? It's economy. Everything she does is an economy of motion. Look at the other girls. And then look at Melody. Melody's stride, very metronomic, very mechanical. Look at her arm carriage. Look at her head, straight. You could put a glass of water on that head and it wouldn't fall off. Breathing pattern, very relaxed. The way that she runs, very economical. She certainly is in a class by herself, not only with her speed, but in the way that she approaches the race and the way that which she runs.
Melody Fairchild easily out in front in first place. Kathy Knabb in second, and it is number 209, Jen Norton, in third. But right now, it is really Melody against the clock.
10:03.5 is the mark that she'll be shooting for. That's Mary Shea's outdoor national record for 2 miles. The 10:05 is indoors by Susie Tuffy. Right now she's on pace to break both and become the first under 10.
She looks good, she looks strong, and she is charging her way down the track. Can she break the national record? We'll find out when we come back as she continues her assault towards that mark.
Do you know what open-end mutual funds are?
The Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Money and Markets tells you in clear, simple English.
Do you know how to spot trends in stocks?
And what stock options are?
And zero coupon bonds?
And the difference between Treasury bills and Treasury notes?
Everything you want to know about the sometimes baffling world of money and investing is in this remarkable 120-page book. And now it's yours free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Call now and you can have 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal and this valuable 120-page Guide to Understanding Money and Markets. That's 13 weeks of the Journal for the news and ideas you need every business day. And this guide free, which tells you everything you want to know about money and markets, all for only $37, a 24% savings off the newsstand price. Call now, toll-free, 800-332-1800. That's 800-332-1800 for today's Wall Street Journal.
Welcome back. Melody Fairchild continues to charge her way towards the record books. Can she break the all-time 2-mile record, indoor or outdoor? She has to beat 10:05.15 to do it.
Dan, Melody is back on record pace. While we were gone, she slowed down a little bit. She hit the mile in 5:03.5, which had her off a little bit. Her succeeding quarter miles got faster. Mile and a quarter, 6:18 for a 74.5. Mile and a half, 7:32.8 for a 74.8. Now she really picked it up in that last quarter mile, 72.2 for 8:45. In order to run under 10 minutes, she must run the last quarter mile in 74 seconds. She is really picking it up. Look at the tempo. I think she's going to break the record here, and she might go under 10 minutes.
And here is the bell lap, and listen to the crowd.
And Dan, 9:17.4 for 3,000 meters. She has set a national high school record for that distance, and it's en route to this 2-mile.
Tom, would she even be able to gain more ground, more time, if the runners were moving to the outside?
Absolutely. It's a courtesy, especially in international events where always, if you're about ready to be lapped, you move to the outside.
And coming down to the wire, let's listen and look as she goes into the record books.
Obliterated it, Dan. Absolutely obliterated the national record.
9:55.9. Let's go to Adrian Karsten with our new national record holder.
Could you break a sweat or something here? No girl has ever run under 10 minutes indoors.
I've been working hard, and I wanted this race to be a sort of a key for my success at the World Championships. And I was a little apprehensive yesterday coming in. I felt real kind of dragging. I was real tired from the travel. But I know you've got to give your best everything you do, and that's what I said I was going to do, and I did. And when I came on that last turn and I had one more lap to go, I believe 75 seconds to hit that record, and I cleared it by about 4, so I'm really happy.
And we're happy for her, too, as she sets a new national scholastic record. We'll be back with more of our track and field special right after this.
Watching ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
Welcome back to the National Scholastic Indoor Track and Field Championships, brought to you by Team Chiro. Gain a competitive edge. See your chiropractor today. Well, the 1991 Indoor Championships is certainly one to be remembered, Tom. Not only have we witnessed stellar performances on the part of the athletes and seen some records broken, but in some cases, some of those records were absolutely obliterated.
Maybe the best indoor high school track meet ever held. Juliana Yendork just broke 43 feet in the triple jump a couple weeks ago at Madison Square Garden. Who would know that she would almost break 44 feet today, going 43.11 and a half? Not only that, she came back and won the long jump, going 20 feet even. Melody Fairchild, nobody had ever broken 10 minutes in the 2-mile, indoors or out. 9:55.92, she obliterated the record. Sandra Fagan, yesterday in the 200-meter heats, breaks the national record. Today, 100th off the 55-meter national record, but Marion Jones, that nemesis from the California coast, wins the 200, sets a national sophomore record after setting the national freshman record in this very same meet last year. That rivalry will be one all track and field fans will be interested in years to come.
And of course, as we said, Tom, that is just a few of the highlights that we've seen today. Why don't we go ahead now and recap all of the events and their winners. In the girls' 55 meters, it was Sandra Fagan over arch rival Marion Jones in 6.85 seconds, a new meet record. On the boys' side, Tyrone Turpin beats out Tyrone Wheatley, 6.27. In the girls' 200, Marion Jones over Sandra Fagan. She comes back to win it, 23.89. On the boys, it was Tyrone Turpin, makes two, 21.69. In the girls' 400 meters, Catalina Stay in 56.20. In the boys' 400 meters, Dave Adair, 48.06. For the girls' 800 meters, it was Rebecca Spies from wire to wire, 2:12.88. Jim McCreary from Gillette, Wyoming wins the boys' side, 153.29. In the girls' mile, Amy Rudolph, 458.86. In the boys, it was Jamabile, 418.69. In the girls' 2-mile, Melody Fairchild sets a new national record, 955.92. In the boys, Angel Martinez in 911.84. Well, it's been a day of spectacular performances and shattered records here at the Carrier Dome. I'm Dan Debenham for Adrian Karsten and Tom Fuhr. So long. Air travel for the athletes and crew provided by U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer.